Back with First Trades right here on ET Now, and it's all about autos. After the monthly updates from Motown, that's where all the cheer has been, and that's where perhaps one could see all the cheer continue. So let's get that question answered. We've got Rakesh Sharma, the ED at Bajaj Auto, joining in to help us understand what trends he's picking up right now. Rakesh, hi, morning. Great to have you on ET Now. And clearly the month gone by has been fabulous. Looking at the month-on-month data, is it going to be as great going forward as well? Would you manage to, perhaps see an uptick of the momentum already clocked in?
Yeah, good morning. I think October should be better than September because in October we will realize the full impact of the GST cut, which is a combination of effects. One is that, of course, there's more money in the pocket of the customer because of the across the board reduction in GST, so there's more disposable income. And second is, I must admit, the timing was spot on, and there is a very good positive sentiment. Motorcycles is a discretionary purchase, as you know, and when the environment is a bit uncertain, people say, why not stretch? Why buy now, And when their view of the environment changes as it is changing now, that question goes to why not buy now? So that is the change we are seeing. It's a positive sentiment, and that these two things should combine to give us a better October than September, because September was also the first 2-3 weeks were muted, or I must say not muted. There was a sharp fall because of the announcement of the GST, and people held back their purchase. And of course, some of that suppressed demand came right back in the final 9 days of September. But we don't know how much has sort of flowed into September and how much will flow in October. But the bottom line is that, yes, the setup is good, and it looks like October retail should be much better.
To hear that, Rakesh. So would you already have a number as to what do you hope to clock in up until Diwali?
I wish that was true. There are so many moving parts out here that it's very difficult to hazard a number. But I can tell you that if I look at the last 5 years, this is our best Navratri ever. So we are heading in that direction, but it's very difficult to pin it down to even a range of numbers.
Shai, this is Harsha. I want to start off by taking a cue from your first answer. You said that some amount of this of these numbers is also pent-up demand. Give us a sense, how much of it is pent-up demand, how much of it is actually the zing coming in because of the GST rate cuts? Give us that sense.
It's impossible to do that.
Okay.
Point taken. It would be complete speculation. But
sure.
What I can say to you is that it certainly was a factor in pushing up the last 9 days, but difficult to identify a number.
Understood. And what are the trends? What has changed? Are customers looking at a higher CC bike, a better bike with better features? Is that what customers are looking at, or are they absorbing the discounts that you are giving them? How exactly is it playing out from a customer standpoint?
See, like I said, our takeout is that it's the positive sentiment which is really more important. And when the people see that, inflation was, for example, a big constraint in the run-up to this period, because the year to date till August, the industry was in marginal decline. And a large part of that could be attributed to the inflationary pressures which were there on the customers. In urban areas, people are facing a lot of rental inflation and stuff like that. Now, with this across-the-board GST cut, like I said, there is more money in the pocket to spend. But more importantly, there is a feeling that, the future is going to be benign. And when that happens, people not only like to advance the purchase, and particularly during a festive, but yes, you're very right in commenting that there is they will also support an uptrading. The uptrading trends over the last 5 years are very stark and visible. The below 100cc market, 100cc and below 100cc market, which used to be about 55% or so, has shifted to about 48%. So there is a fundamental trend of the upper half growing more strongly. That fundamental trend will become even more reinforced and stronger, therefore, because of the GST cut. People who are slightly better off have money in the wallet to take that leap and go to a better and bigger bike.
But Rakesh, there are some reports suggesting that you guys are absorbing the GST hike in excess of 350cc segment for, say, a KTM and a Triumph. Is that true? And if so, what's the strategy behind this?
Yeah, it is true. So we have absorbed for above 350cc portfolio the GST cut from 28% to 18%, which we did not get. And in fact, for us, it went to 28 to 40%. So we have tried to keep the prices as they were when it was a 28% cut. So the logic behind that was to keep the prices stable. Of course, it's an investment from our side. And this happened, this sort of distortion, and I would say this is one of the things which was slightly unnecessary and made things a little bit complex and distorted. This distortion had to be overcome. And it happened at a time when, both KTM and Triumph were really ramping up. We've got exclusive dealer networks which are dedicated to these two brands. And we felt that it was not the right moment to increase prices to that extent. And we have taken that cut. And I must tell you that if you go into social media, and of course, when we talk to our dealers, this move has gone very, very positively amongst our set of customers and our dealers. So we are hoping to buttress some of the impact of the GST increase in this class of motorcycles.
Rakesh, how are things on the export side shaping up? Are you seeing a sharp uptick in terms of demand on the export side of the market as well? We saw very strong numbers from one of the other auto four-wheeler players, but trying to understand how the two-wheeler demand is shaping up. Second, does on the domestic front, does your guidance in terms of full year FY26 change at all as a result of this GST tweak that we've seen?
So exports has been doing well. As you know, we have been in the 15 to 20% range. And there are two factors over here. One is certainly the markets are coming back. But if I look at, like, we are in 100 plus countries, but 30 countries out of those account for over 80% of our business. And that's true, reflective of the industry as well. Those are mostly all on the growth path, and we are growing at 1.5 times the industry rate. So it's a combination of the markets improving, particularly LATAM. We have had our highest ever quarter in LATAM and our competitive position. So when you combine the industry growth and our competitive position in these markets, the exports outlook is looking good. We are hoping to better what we did in Q2 as we move into Q3. And of course, the US dollar appreciation, at least in this aspect, is very helpful for the bottom line. Sorry, and your second question was something around domestic, right?
Do the growth numbers change at all in terms of your guidance?
Well, yeah. So like I said, there are so many moving parts right now. And to understand the real benefit of the GST cut, the fundamental shift, I think we will have to wait till January, February. Because, and particularly what one has to look out for, will inflation come back and mitigate some of the advances which GST cuts have brought. There is the softening rupee, and there are other aspects. So once we are out of this whole festive frenzy, then there is a natural decline in November, December, and as we go into January, February, that is the time to look at how the industry is doing. We have a positive, we are optimistic that it may not be a very sharp and continued uptake, but it will make a difference January, February, March onwards. But we just hope things like inflation don't pay spoiler, and particularly very specifically to the motorcycles, the two-wheelers industry, is this whole impending thing of additional cost because of ABS. I know that there is a discussion going on within the government, and but if those kind of things come into play by having an ABS in all class of two-wheelers, and that imposes a certain cost, that would sort of push back the gains of the GST. So we have to watch out for all these things. I would say that we are optimistic about the improvement which the GST cut has done to the industry, of course, in the immediate term, and also certainly in the longer term. But just need to watch out for the inflation and some of these very specific points.
That too seems under control right now. Crude is quite stable around 60 to 65, so fingers crossed on that. But Rakesh, thank you so much for your time today. Good speaking with you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, let's